Well, good afternoon, everybody. We are live in Decatur, Illinois at Fairview Park. I would walk down there, but I'm not. But what I am going to do is walk through, actually I'm going to walk down Main Street next to Millikan University, and we're going to walk downtown. We're going to go through by some old homes, so yeah, hopefully we'll have some fun. I do have it to where you could see me along with where I'm going. And if I don't say anything to you, then welcome, and let's have some fun. It is about 80 some degrees here. It is humid and it is windy, so if you hear a lot of wind noise, it is because we have storms to the northwest of us, and according to the radar, they're not supposed to hit, and they're going to dissipate as they get closer to us. We're going to wait until it's good to go. Sorry if I get too close to the camera. It's funny the things that TikTok puts on here. Keep going. We're trying to get people to for your live, and but they must have something going on here, because we're just going to go behind this car and get going. My old gimbal, it telescoped, and it got to the point where it wasn't working properly. And this one here has been screwing up on me as well. So if everything looks kind of sideways or crooked, or I can't fix that. So this building here is the science building, and as you can see at the very top there, they have observatories up there to look at the night sky. And it's kind of hard for me to see the screen because it's gone a little dark on me. I don't know how long the battery will hold out, so we will go as far as we can go, and but I do have a little battery backup thing I can connect to it that will hopefully help us out. We'll cross the street here. Hopefully cars will stop. And then this here is the Tabor School of Business building. And if you come in and say hello, I can't see you. Hello, welcome. School is getting ready to start here. I'm sure just like anywhere else, people are starting to show up to come back to school. My screen is really dark now, so I really can't see what's going on. And the next building over is the music center. Back in the 1980s, this was kind of like a lot of other colleges. They were a party college. And there were a lot of fraternities and sororities. And of course, a lot of like house fraternities. They would have a lot of parties in them, and it was kind of like Animal House. And I have gone to some of these parties when I was in high school, and they were something else. But they had knocked down a lot of those housing and buildings and so on, and pretty much stopped that. They do have students coming in over here. I don't know if it's registration or what's going on. It really kind of sucks that my screen went kind of dark. I don't know if it's the heat that does that. But my screen protector is one of those security things where you can't see off from the side. So it kind of makes everything look dark. So if you had any questions, I can't see them anyway. So now we're heading down Main Street, and this is a main road indicator. And this road has a lot of the old homes from the 1800s down here past the train bridge. And since I really can't see the screen, I'll just say hello everybody, and welcome to my live stream. I was going to go live on YouTube, but I decided to do another TikTok one because TikTok keeps bothering me to do another live stream. This part of that there is the main sidewalk, and they put this in. This is basically what they would call the bike trail. But I think everybody walks on this more. I really wish I could see any comments because I really can't see my screen. I barely see it. But they got people out welcoming students to their dorms, and that one over there is Blackburn dorm, and I think that one's a freshman dorm. We get up here to the lights, we'll be coming up to Oakland Street, and then off to the right of me are a lot of restaurants, and there's a tattoo place down that way, and places for the students to eat along with everybody else. But that place on the corner there, they have changed hands so many times, and I don't even know if that business is even open. But some of these neighborhoods down here are kind of sketchy, and hopefully nobody will bother me. And then the winery over here has been here a very long time. And they have the winery burger. And they're okay. It's just another place for people to party and drink at. All right, time to go. I'm afraid to would have put this too bright, because then I would have ran my battery down faster. But all these houses off to the left, they were Habitat for Humanity homes. And then I think these people kind of sold them off, and they end up turning into apartments for the students. I actually used to live on this street. When I was a lot younger, back in the 80s. I don't remember which house it was. It's been a while. Some of the houses have been restored. Some of the houses have been restored. Like that one, for instance, that yellow one, I think they restored it. Yellow color. But we will come down this way. I'm going to make my way down a street called West William Street. I had a follower who wants to move to this city, and they talked about buying a house on that street. So yeah, that yellow house right there, I lived on the second floor with my brother for a while. And just passed away not too long ago. So this house on the corner, the house next door to it, there's a lady who's sitting out there when I was on a live stream, and she was telling me she owns that house. And she was telling me all about it. It was pretty neat. That was a block. Okay. But she was renting it out, I think, and then she was living next door, which is quite odd. And we'll get down here to a mansion of the Milliken Homestead Mansion, of the one who started the school back here. Now, back when the school started was when the Civil War was going. Now, back when the school started was when the Civil War was going on, and they had actually used the grounds to house some of the troops, and they used the gymnasium as their hospital. But when the war was over, they when they left, it was haunted because but when the war was over, they when they left, it was haunted because a lot of people died in that school. One day I will go on one and film it. One day I will go on one and film it. But we'll cross over. But we'll cross over through their drive and go over the street that I live. But anyway, this is the James Milliken homestead, and don't know if it's haunted. There are a lot of haunted buildings in Decatur, Illinois. There are a lot of haunted buildings in Decatur, Illinois. What do you think? Probably, I don't know, maybe a 5 to 6 figure home built in Illinois. What do you think? Probably, I don't know, maybe a 5 to 6 figure home built. Today I'm sure it's worth more. And also straight ahead, had a lot of people tour through it, and I can't remember how much it was, $2 million or something like that. But we will come down this street. But we will come down this street. This is Prairie. You know, I'm not quite sure if William Street is the next street over or not. She was actually wanting me to go down the 900 block of William, that's probably back the other way, because now so as you can see, a pretty nice looking home right there. These are condos right here. My wife used to take care of a lady who lived in those. Now, Decatur used to be a very prominent city. We've had a lot of famous people come here. We've had presidents come here. I do not know if President Trump has ever been here, or even Biden. But I do know there have been a lot of presidents that came here. Reagan has been here before, and several others. Look at that. I think my wife wants her bedroom painted that color, or a bedroom that's going to become hers. I think my wife wants her bedroom painted that color, or a bedroom that's going to become hers. Her bedroom painted that color, or a bedroom that's going to become hers. But we've had a lot of vaudeville people show up here back in the day. We have a theater called the Lincoln Theater, and we had a lot of famous people come there and do their acts. And it started falling apart, and then somebody bought it and started fixing it up. They do hold a lot of concerts there now to raise money to keep it going. And I think this house, and I could be wrong, I know it's yellow, there was Hershey of Hershey Chocolate used to live in Decatur, Illinois back in those days. And like I said, it was a very prominent city. A lot of people, they used to call this I don't know if they still do, but they used to call this city the Little Chicago. But it's had many names. Pride of the Prairie, soy capital of the world because of ADM, and they're using the soy product to make all kinds. A lot of these old homes is what we call shotgun homes. So your front door and your back door are in line with each other, and so that's why they call it a shotgun house. I do not know if we will come across one. I know there is one over here. If I see it, I'll show it to you. I know there is one over here. If I see it, I'll show it to you. But we get a lot of what you know as slumlords buy these houses up. They don't care to fix them up. They just want to put people in them and gather money. And I think the cities really need to get on their ass about that shit. Get on their ass about that shit. And so we're going to be coming up to one of many churches in this area. And the funny thing is it's a church on the corner of Church and this street. And off to the left is the Culver House, and the city had thought about tearing this house down because it was falling apart, and some people got together and told them that it is a historical site and they cannot tear it down. So because of that, there it is right there, because of that they could not tear it down. I'm sure when that was built, it was a very, very prominent home. Other than the Culvers lived in there, I don't know what they did to make their money. So this is Edward Street. My fault. I'm sorry. Church Street is the next street up. So we're going to turn on this one, and there is that building there is a church as well. So there are a lot of churches down here because apparently they love to put their churches in the downtown area. Well, we'll eventually make it downtown. I just thought I would come down here a little more. Actually, that yellow house right there, I think is where the Hershey's lived. I told you it was yellow. I couldn't remember. There was two of them that looked similar, but that is where the Hershey's lived back when Hershey started out his business. The house next to it, the gray one, that is the Oglesby Mansion. We'll go down that way here in a moment. Yeah, this is William Street. So my subscriber wanted to know how the 900 block of West William is. So we will come down here. I know that house there on the corner, that was a school for a while there, and it's supposed to be haunted. But they sold it off, and now it's a residence. All right, so we will head this way and look at these old homes. I don't know why that this doesn't have a place marker of why the Hershey family lived here. And this here is the Oglesby here at certain times of the year. He was our governor. I'm not quite sure, back in maybe Civil War days, March to November, 2 to 4. Last Sunday of each month is when you can go in there and check out that place right there. But this is where a lot of these old houses are. Some people have bought them up and fixed them, made them look nice. So actually a lot of these, it's funny how people loved that kind of thing right there on their homes. And back in those days, this was the rich neighborhood, and you have to go to the west end of Decatur and or around the lake for that now. If we turned this way, that house right there, that great big one right there, that is the Staley Mansion. And he was a manufacturer, and they since have sold that business and name. It is no longer the Staley business. I forgot the name of it at the moment. But I think this is the, oh, this is the 500 block. So my friend who just joined my YouTube channel, and if you're not joined, please follow me on John McKee's World and on YouTube. She wanted to know how the 900 block of West William was. Well, we're in the 500 block. I don't know if I'll walk all the way down there. I'm sorry. Because I was going to walk down to downtown. Well, maybe I should. Maybe I'll just go this way and I'll just head back. Because I've been walking a long way. Hopefully people will leave me alone. And like I said, I can't see my screen. I cannot answer any questions. Welcome if you just came in. And there's a house over here where some friends of mine had stayed for a while. I think it was after we got out of high school. I think it was this one right here. They it's either that one or the next one over. I don't remember. They had lived there for a little while, and we had a few parties there. Not big, heavy parties, but a few get-togethers. Sometimes it's not really the people that I'm worried about. It's if they got dogs. They got dogs. Plus, I'm going to start heading back this way in case it does rain and the radar was wrong about it dissipating. Sometimes we get what we call the ADM effect. And the ADM energy that it produces keeps storms away. Storms away. So hopefully my live stream's not going in and out, because I just seen a message about something. I guess it all depends on where you are in this city to have a good connection. Okay, we're in the 700 block. Okay, we're in the 700 block. We'll soon be in the 800 block. But like I said, there are a lot of nice homes in this area. And then there's a lot of ones that are falling apart, which are sad, because you would think that people would, if they got a nice looking home, that they would at least try to keep it mowed and keep their house nice. But like I said, this back in the 1800s, when this city was starting out, this is where your rich people lived. Okay, I'm still going. I couldn't see anything of people joining and such. But yeah, you get a lot of houses like this in the West End as well. People's taking these type of, because we're heading west, so they just kind of continued this kind of design southwest of Decatur, and it ended up becoming the prominent part of Decatur. You had a lot of your lawyers and doctors and people who made a lot of money had moved into those homes or had them built. I don't know if you guys ever seen one of these before. People get a permit and they do a free library. So you come in and you take a book and leave a book. So if you got a book you don't want, you come in here and put this in here. If you see one, you take it out. But you got to have a permission from the city to do that. There are quite a few of them around. I don't know if they do that in your cities, but you know, you can see they keep their house nice. A lot of nice houses over there. And you kind of can tell where that stops at and then where the other houses are starting to become a problem. Okay, we're in the 900 block. So I don't remember what house you had told me, and I totally forgot what your name is that asked me. But here is the 900 block of West William Street. And I wish I would have re-looked it up to see what you were talking about. So that house was built in 1904. Pretty cool, huh? My house was built in 1960, I think. It still has the original windows, which suck. And but anyway, yeah, here is what this street looks like. To my new subscriber, I don't remember what she said the address was. But if you see this, because I'm going to post this on YouTube, and I think we follow each other on TikTok anyway, but I'll post this on YouTube, and if she wants to see it, and see this is the dead end. So yeah, and then you come around on Hayworth, and there's a lot of cool houses on Hayworth as well. This is a little brick road. There's a lot of roads like this in the West End too. They're real narrow and they're all brick. I know it would kind of suck during winter time because these bricks would be slick. But this will take us back to Maine. Head back through Millikan University. Sorry I didn't go downtown like I was going to, but I'm just afraid it's going to start raining on me. And I don't want to get my phone wet or anything else. Maybe one day we'll go walking through the West End and we'll look at all those real nice homes. At one time I tried to buy a home in the West End, but I couldn't get funded for it. Look at that one's pretty cool. I like those pillars, those are neat. Looks like a little cottage. But you got some pretty cool ranch style homes down this street. I think when I finally get my house paid off and fixed up and sold, I'm just going to buy me a little one-story ranch home. So I live in a bi-level house and I don't really care for going up and down stairs unless I have a fixed up basement, and I don't mind that. So, but as you can see, these old garages, they weren't made for today's cars unless you got one of those little tiny cars. The more you keep going straight, the more you run into a lot of crime areas. So we're gonna come back this way and head back towards Millikan University. We just made a great big long circle, or big wide circle. I hope you enjoyed this. Please give me a heart if you liked it. I think my next live stream will be on YouTube, because it's been a while since I've been on there live streaming. But I thought I'd come on this one this time and hopefully get a bunch of people come in and take a look at a neighborhood in Decatur, Illinois. I've lived here pretty much my entire life. I was born in a town outside Decatur called Taylorville, Illinois. And we moved from there to Decatur when I was about 3-4 years old. And I've been here ever since. I have moved out a couple of times. I lived up in Pekin, Illinois, up by Peoria for about, I think, 3 years. And then I lived in southern Illinois, outside Golconda. I was going to school down there, and our camp was overlooked the Ohio River, and you can see Kentucky on the other side. And it was pretty cool being surrounded by all those trees. But I was only there for about 3 months, and then I came back home and been here ever since, actually. So I'm 57 years old and just been married for 33 years on August 8th. And I have twin boys and they are 28. One's moved out. I can smell those winery birds. It's making me hungry. We're gonna come down this way a bit, maybe go through Millikan, providing I don't bother anybody, because they do have people coming in to go back to school. I do know they have a new dorm down here. Well, I mean, it's not new, but it's newer than the rest of the college. They call it Dawson Hall. They also have the bookstore inside in that dorm. In this area, they used to have a lot of the housing where people would have their frats and stuff like that. I remember going to one of them in Halloween. They had, they put a haunted house in one of them. It was really cool. It was probably about the best haunted house I ever went in. Anyway, that's that place right there. Their bookstore's in there. Unless they took it out, which is quite possible. I remember back in the 80s, you'd see all kinds of girls out here sunbathing. But I think Dawson Hall is a freshman dorm as well. I don't know about all colleges, but I know when you're a freshman, you have to stay in a dorm, and I think after that, you can live off campus. Their softball field is over there, and then they do have a new baseball field, but it's quite a ways. Where you see that new building right there, that is where that old gymnasium sat, and that's where they used it as a hospital during the Civil War, and I was told it was very haunted. So they finally knocked it down. I don't know what that is that they built in its place. The football field's on the other side of that building. So that building's new, and this building is new. This is where their theater is, and it's pretty cool. Theater and dance and, whatever else they do in there. If I get too close, I'm sorry. This gimbal gets pretty heavy after a while, holding it with one hand like this. But you can see the football field from here. Oh, and that building on the very end, I think that's where another gym was at. That was the newest gym they built after they built this one. I don't know what they do in there now. It still may be what it is. In the Kirkland Fine Arts Center, this is where they do a lot of famous people come here and do their shows or whatever. And this is your quad right here. Every school's got a quad. That's like a little prayer thing. You go in there, and I guess you can pray, because Millikin is actually a Presbyterian college, from what I understand. But I think one of their biggest classes that might be here is nursing. But it's expensive to go to Millikin University. You'd have to Google Millikin University and see how much it costs. I guess it would all depend on what you want to do. Now, I work at the community college here on the edge of town, Richland Community College. And of course, a community college is only a 2-year. This is a 4-year college. They do have their own radio station, and they play all kinds of music. Used to listen to them a lot in the 80s because I was into that, you know, the REM, U2 kind of thing back then. All your psychedelic music of that time. Punk rock. I used to be in a punk rock band for a while, and I think we could have went somewhere, but of course the singer and the one that started the group couldn't get along, and it disbanded. Plus I think the one that started it, he was having some issues, personal issues. But I was the drummer of the band, and I had been playing ever since high school. Self-taught. Been in, well, the bands I've been in, we named them several times. My first band went from Kudzu Plantation to 10 Pounds Heavier. And then I was in this punk rock band, and we played all over the place. Yeah, I'm sure the school probably thinks, oh, the only sucky ass thing is they got a cemetery next to us. And of course, you know, you can't move a cemetery, so it remains. Just to go a little bit longer, we'll go in here to Fairview Park, and I'll show you the new equipment they put in here. We'll come over here to the bike trail, see if there's anything going on. Now this big pavilion that we'll come up on, this is where they used to ice skate in the wintertime before they built the Civic Center where they do the ice skating now. But they used to ice skate. I don't know how to ice skate, so I never went. And now they just kind of hold events in there every once in a while. Hopefully I'm still streaming. And welcome if you just come in. I can't see anything on my screen because it went dark, probably from the heat. If I was at home, it would be a different story. Probably because it's bright out here as well. But if you go on my YouTube channel, John McKee's World, you will see videos on there of me riding my bike on this trail. Now, if you ride all the trails, start back there behind us, ride all the trails that are made for this park and go back there and stop. It's about a 20-mile round trip. My hands are getting tired. But this was all closed up over here for probably about a year, so they can build this new playground, state-of-the-art playground as they called it. Oh, and back in here is a lot of nice homes as well. This is where the West End begins. So I think if I live stream looking at old homes again, we'll come over here in the West End and look at these houses. But anyway, as you can see over there, that is our new park. A lot of that is for exercise use other than just kind of playing around and stuff like that. They got like a little jogging track around it. You can do sprints. There's just all kinds of exercise stuff in there. And you could probably see some child climbing on something. And of course there's swings and there's all kinds of other things in there, but yeah, so and things to do, pull-ups and whatever it is you want to do to be strong. Now, Decatur has two big parks. They have this one here, which I go to frequently because I think it's the best one out of the two. And then they have Nelson Park, which is off the lake. That one there houses the Devon Theater, where a lot of famous acts come and play. Every ticket is sold out. So yeah, you can go over there and you can throw a football and see which hole that you can get it in. All kinds of exercise equipment. Things for children to do, things for adults to do. And it looks like they're going to be building some stuff over here as well. There was actually a basketball court over here and they tore it out. Maybe they're going to put a new one in. But the other park had a golf course in it and they closed it down due to a lot of the people that played golf in this town had moved away or died. So there wasn't really anybody playing golf anymore. We do have like 2 golf courses left. One is in Forsyth, Illinois, and the other one is in the South Shores area on the other end of town. Because they keep building new baseball diamonds and stuff, I have not seen anybody play at this one. They do have, I think, Millikan students come out and play some soccer and or get practice or whatever. Maybe some other teams come out here and practice. But there's actually more to do in this park than there is the other one. I know back when I was in high school in the 80s, the best time on this earth, they used to have a thing out here right at the end of school called the Fun Fair, and it was put on by St. Mary's Hospital. And of course this parking lot was full of rides. They had all kinds of homemade games all along the fields over here. And of course, you know, you got your Coke bottle that's real stretched, and we got the clips with the feathers on them and for to put in your hair, and all kinds of other crazy things that we had back in the 80s. There is a skate park over here, but it is over there. And then they have this thing over here, I've never really seen anybody on it. I think it's for skates, or I imagine you could probably ride a bike on it. Not sure. And we'll head up here to what they call Dreamland Lake. And it is a little pond where kids can fish at. You can only be up to 16 years old to fish here. It does have a replica at one side of the pond of our transfer house downtown for the ducks. Of course, you come over here and you have to watch out for all the duck and goose poop and the goose coming after you. And then we have a Civil War memorial up here on that hill. And that's the same hill when I was a kid in the wintertime. What is this? I hope I'm still going. Did they stop me? What is this? I have a feeling I'm not filming anymore. Okay, that was weird. Hello, Debbie. I hope I'm still filming. I had some kind of a security thing come up there, so I hope I'm still on. If I'm still on, say something, because I don't know if I'm still on. Okay, all right, cool. So I had some kind of weird security thing come up there. It kept telling me to slide over. I kept trying to exit out, and my screen went dark. Anyway, back in I'm going to keep saying the day, there used to be a bridge that went over the center of this, where you see that water fountain. I wish I had that picture and put it up here and show you what this looked like back in the 1700s, or it might have been the 1900s. I'm not quite sure. But back in those days, it used to get very, very, very cold here, and this would freeze. And they used to come out here and ice skate on it. And of course, nowadays, because of global warming and such, we don't have that cold of winters anymore, and we really don't get that much snow anymore. Because when I was a kid, we used to get so much snow and ice that it would get so cold that the snow drifts would freeze, and we would walk on top of the snow drifts going to school. But as you can see right there, there's some duckies. They're going to start scattering, flying away. Oh, I'm not bothering you. And there's the Dreamland, or the transfer house that I was talking about for the ducks. And then that bridge there had been redone. And yeah, so you got to be no older than 16 years old to fish here. That is a tennis got a bunch of tennis courts up there. And back in the 80s, when tennis was very popular, they would hold a lot of tournaments up there. And I'm really surprised that it's still there and people still play tennis. I played a little bit of tennis until I stupidly put my racket on top of a ex-girlfriend's car, or might have been my car, and took off and forgot about it. And somebody got a free brand new tennis racket along with her jacket. I had to go out and buy her a new jacket, and yeah, that sucked. I think she hated me ever since then. That's okay, her loss. All right, well, I'm going to get back to a more comfortable place and possibly end my live stream and walk on home. The geese are down here. So yeah, we used to slide down this hill over here in the wintertime and had all kinds of fun. I haven't sled since I was a kid. So we used to come over here at the end of school year and have our big picnics and stuff like that. That was fun. I don't know what the kids do today, especially in your towns. I've been out of school for, I don't know, 30 some years. I don't know what they do anymore. But I'm gonna find a picnic table over here and set this down and end my live stream and then head home. So I got more ways to walk. Used to be an authentic Lincoln Courthouse up here, and of course kids started vandalizing it and they took it away. And there's actually a place out there by the airport where they would hold events of that era, and I don't think they do that anymore. I drove out there one time to look, and it looked like they were all falling apart. So, which is pretty sad, really. This water fountain is one. It was the, I don't know if it was the first or the last water fountain. It didn't work, I don't think. Let's see what the plaque says. Says this is the lone survivor of 4 fountains built in 1936. So yeah, that's been around here. If my mom was still alive, it had been here for as long as her. She was born in 1936. Whew. It is hot, people. It is hot. All right, I'm going to come over here to this here picnic table and say my goodbyes. As you can see, they at one time did horseshoes right here. That's a fun game to do, horseshoes. All right. Let me set you here. I'm going to turn you around. Those are restrooms, by the way. Yeah, for some reason my things aren't working on my gimbal. So let me see if I can't see. Anyway, you're just going to have to see me right there. And I don't even know how I'm going to be able to turn this off because I can't fucking see it. Anyway, yeah, that is downtown. Well, we didn't get to see the downtown. We just got to see the old homes, and you got to see part of Fairview Park. Eventually I'll go downtown again, but actually if you want to see it, just go to my YouTube channel. I've got many live streams and videos of downtown Decatur, and but there'll be more live streams to come. We'll go walk around the West End, look at those old homes. We'll get down to downtown Decatur. And I'd like to get back out to the Japanese garden while it's still summer, so we could see how it looks during the summer. Because I did film in the autumn time and the last time I was there. So anyway, you all take care. I got to figure out how I'm going to stop this live stream because my gimbal has stopped moving. It won't let me move it. Here, I have to move it by hand. Take my glasses off because all I see is the glare. And I don't know how I'm going to end this. So I'm going to be pushing buttons and see if that works. Nope. Does that one do it? Live guess. Pause. No, that's not it. Jeez. It's really bright out here, guys. It really is. So I'll tell you what. I will walk over here to the pavilion, and because it will be a little darker in there, because I can't see what I'm doing. My screen is dark. So we will come up here where I got less light. Might even be under this tree. Oh yeah, there we go. Anyway, I'm at 60% on my battery, folks. And here, let's go up here, because I'll explain this pavilion for you. Because I told you that they used to ice skate up here. All right. I'm gonna have to manually move my camera. Well, actually, you see these things right here. They are all the way around this entire thing. So they used to put walls up on these. And of course, this was all clean. There wasn't picnic tables. And they would freeze this floor because it is very, I can't even think of the word. We were just there a couple weeks ago. We were where? Oh, I know what you're talking about now. Anyway, yeah, they would freeze this floor and they would put walls up so you just can't come in because you had to pay to ice skate. And this is where they would ice skate until they built the Civic Center, and now that's where they ice skate. Now, when they built that Civic Center back in the 80s, because there used to be Stephen Decatur High School that sat there for many years, and then they knocked it down, built a new Stephen Decatur, and they built the Civic Center there. Well, when they built that Civic Center back in the late 80s, I think it was, or it might have been the middle 80s, whatever it was. Back in the 80s, they did they had a concert. They had concerts there. They had WWF used to be there. And before Metallica became as famous as they are today, they played in that building along with Rat and probably Twisted Sister, and all the big heavy metal bands played the Decatur Civic Center back in the 80s. And of course, I didn't have a job and I couldn't buy a ticket and didn't get to see it, but yeah, Metallica played Decatur, Illinois before, well, actually right when they were getting famous. So they weren't real famous yet. Just like all the other acts, they all had like maybe 2 or 3 albums out, and they all played in Decatur. They had WWF in Decatur. So they had Hulk Hogan here. They had all the other people of that era here in Decatur, wrestling at the Decatur Civic Center, which really isn't that big. It's a little bigger than where I'm standing right now, a little wider, but it really wasn't that big. I don't think. That's where the school I work at has their graduation, because we don't have the facility at Richland to have their graduation. I do see the button to where I can stop this live stream because I only have one person in here. But anyway, thank you for coming. Thank you for staying for as long as you did. And watch all my other videos. I do the morning sunrise. And go to my YouTube channel, John McKee's World. There's a lot more other videos there and live streams to watch. And we will catch you on the next live stream.